it's a tough one, and I think that we will see that reflected in herO's build order. I think he'll choose something that doesn't rely necessarily on him taking a quick and easy third.
Yeah, what will he come up with? Let's find out. To the northwest position, though, the man who is still up 2 maps to 1. He suffers his first defeat in this series, admittedly after trying something a little bit unorthodox. It doesn't work out, but he's still ahead. Ladies and gentlemen, in the blue trunks, playing Terran, KT Rolster's Flash.
And his opponent down at 6 o'clock, showing that he still has what it takes to take this grand finals. It is CJ Entis herO.
He does, absolutely. But what does he do here? Well, so far, he has built nothing, but he is on 11 supplies, so that is to be expected. Does he break out some kind of cheese here? It's kind of risky, because, of course, he doesn't want to go down 3-1. That would be an awful position to be in, even though he has won in it before. But it's simultaneously, at least an aggressive, maybe 2-base build might be the best way to pull this off against a Terran player.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking here. I'm feeling if he goes for a 2-base all-in, should be good. Like, he could go for something like a huge charge lot Archon type of build. He could go for a 2-base Colossus all-in. Those are the two that I'm really looking towards for herO here to try to steal a win on this map.
Yeah, and it almost is stealing, isn't it? And when you look at the way that the thirds are set up here, there's so much potential for Terran just to do horrible things to you.
Oh yeah, those bases, man, are so hard to hold. There's so much surface area on them.
Yeah.
And, you know, if you have your whole army out there to stop that surface area from abusing you, well, there's this thing called the medevac. It's gonna drop right into your main.
You get dropped. The map designer was generous by putting these force fields into the air here. It's kind of needed considering the shape of the map, but that's not generous enough. Medevacs still get in there. Banshees still get in there. It can be pretty nasty one way or the other. So, yeah, I would be surprised to see a third base go up. Admittedly, it would be the last thing Flash would expect.
Maybe he could go hide it in another man like Flash did to him in Game 1. Who knows? But, you know, Terran being the mobile aggressor in the matchup, again, it's going to be really, really tough on him. So, Flash probably going to want to open up very normally. I think we'll see probably his quick eBay, you know, get his +1 going, get a good amount of units out, a third command center, and just be very careful on the lookout for all-ins.
Yeah, I think so, and that's why he went with this very standard Reaper opening 12-12 into the reactor, into the expand. You know, it's safe, it gives you information. His trusty eBay is on its way. That will be finished fairly soon. And
the Reaper, not too much intel, but there's really not that much intel to gather right now. Flash is aware of that, and if he can get in and spot what's going on, that's going to be fantastic. Otherwise, he's going to have to play very carefully because, you know, there could be like a blink all-in, but no, going to be a Robo.
Robo. All right, fair enough. We'll see what comes out of that. It could be that 2-base Colossus you were talking about there, but it's also pretty safe. It means an early observer. Could be Warp Prism, but, you know, you're going to have to back that up with some gates, and usually you'd maybe throw some DTs in there to make something work. So it just seems like it's fairly standard for the moment here from herO. And like you said, Flash didn't get a lot of information, but there wasn't much to get. It would have been nice maybe if you'd seen that pylon location just so he can always be aware that it's there, just for the potential of a scan later, because it's going to be used for something. It's nice to know where to land your scan because you know where that pylon is, but yeah, it was denied anyway, so and that happens often, so it's not like Flash can be blamed for that.
Oh, certainly, and he knows how to act in situations like this where he doesn't have that full intel. We do have a Forge coming up for herO. Just one Forge, we have to note, because we've seen a lot of double Forge play throughout this tournament. Now, that one Forge could just be for some... Oh, wait, he canceled it! He canceled the Forge! That's huge! Oh my god, canceling that Forge, like, could anything smell of an all-in more than canceling a Forge?
A Forge, yeah, you just don't do that unless you intend to attack. There's an Immortal on the way here. Will we see Colossus, or will he actually attempt something with Gateway and Immortal?
Maybe. Immortal pushes are good.
There it is, never mind.
Terran.
There's the Robo Bay.
Okay, that makes a little bit more sense.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's a bit weird against Terran. You know, do that against Zerg, absolutely, but Terran...
You're going to proxy the Robo generally if you do an Immortal all-in. Yeah, got to get them there real fast before they have their stim done. But In this case, yeah, he is going up into that Colossus tech, and
Twilight
looks
too.
like he's going to get Blink with it.
Yeah, very, very Zest-esque. If he then builds 2 Forges after this, then I don't know. I'm just gonna leave. I think for a while. It's just, I'm just like, no. What are you even thinking? But no, he's actually going up to 2 Immortals, which is a quite surprising number. But of course, it's nice to knock down those Marauders pretty quickly.
That really is going to give his army a lot more staying power with or without the Colossus. But that plus no Forges, like this is going to be a hard-hitting attack. Will Flash actually be able to hold on against it?
Well, so far Flash doesn't really have the army to do so. He is building up a significant Marine count, but that factory's pretty damn late, isn't it? The starport's only just really begun, so he doesn't even have medevac production here. He's going for his good old +1 with Stim, but is he going to get anything done with it? It's a fairly wide ramp. The Reaper comes up to try and give vision. The Sentry's slightly out of position. It looks like he'll just try and fight with the Photon Overcharge. And we'll see just how good those force fields are. Another one got warped in. There's the Time Warp. The Mothership Core goes... No, it actually doesn't.
Oh, wow.
What?
Somehow it lives.
How did that happen?
Flash gets out as well. That could have gone so much worse for either side there.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of surprising.
A
lot of
standoff.
energy used up for Protoss. But of course, some damage taken from Flash. The fact that Flash saw 2 Immortals is gonna kind of give him a siren in his head. He's already starting the bunkers.
Yeah, he knows something's on the way, but Colossus and Immortal tend to crack bunkers pretty quickly. There's the 5-gate follow-up to that. I tell you, that's what that pylon's being used for, over to the side there. And this Marine is going to see the Colossus as well. Now he knows something's really up. Oh, you've got a Colossus and 2 Immortals. You didn't just build these for window dressing, herO. I know what's coming.
And he actually adds 2 Forges, which is blowing my mind.
Sick.
Maybe he's like, oh, I've gotten too scouted. I'll go poke with this, but I can't kill him. He's seen too much. So throwing up those 2 Forges is going to be his way to transition when this doesn't kill Flash.
Well, works for Zest. It could very well work for him as well. It's not a massive investment. It's certainly a possibility. Admittedly, the upgrades are heavily in favor of Flash at the moment. He's 1-1 versus 0-0. Not that makes a massive difference against what herO has, but that's a really small army, and I think herO's kind of realizing that I'm not going to break that. But Flash just pulled all of his SCVs. You see that?
Well, he's taking it serious, man. You see a Colossus coming and 2 Immortals. That can break almost anything. So, just choosing to play really safely here. In the meantime, herO gonna start his 3rd Nexus. It's about halfway done, getting his upgrades going as well, and even making a Dark Shrine.
Okay. It's nice to throw that into the mix, and of course, with a Robo-Up, he could maybe consider Warp Prism. Flash is still kind of locked in on 2 bases, yeah? He has a kind of scary army. He's now, I think, realizes that he can't really be attacked, and he's now taken his 3rd here, too. So, actually, because he had the 3rd already prepared, he ends up being economically ahead with the Mules there. Will Flash attempt to move out? Does he have the kind of army he needs to do it? I think his Viking count is low enough that he might not risk anything more than a sort of probing poke. Maybe he attacks the 3rd base, but it does seem a bit risky.
Well, I guess he could do a big spread and try to get something done, but he only has 2 medevacs, which gets me a little bit nervous about this. I really like a lot of medevacs on this map, so you can pick up and punish that main base when they're defending the 3rd, but with just 2, he can't really pull off too many shenanigans here. I think the most he can do at the moment is some pressure.
No, Flash even saving that Marine in the center, he has no intention. When he can use that APM to save it, absolutely, why not? Pylon going up over to the side here. So we're starting to see some interesting positioning for run-bys. There's one over here, there's one over here. This 3rd base is, of course, an orbital, so it's potentially very vulnerable. Flash is posturing around the 3rd base because he knows those run-bys are a real possibility.
And you know what? The more I look at this Total Biscuit, this has to be a timing attack. There's just no way that he's not going to pull SCVs in this game. That 3rd base, it's wide open. You know, it's kind of late for herO. He put a lot of money into getting those Immortals out. I think it's a great choice by Flash. He's producing a ridiculous amount of Vikings, but just skipping medevacs. He's just going to try to give the haymaker here, the knockout punch with 1 attack. He's not even bothering to try and harass.
Yep, and Flash is holding on to 2 scans worth of energy here. The DTs are kind of lurking around, and they will be able to backstab. But yeah, I do think you're right. Like, with the low medevac count, he just wants to try and kill him. Here come the boys, man. They're off. And I think I think herO has to give that third base up, honestly. I don't see him being able to fight there.
I'd be very surprised if he could hold this third base. Very surprised indeed. Flash is up by 12 supply. He has a ton of Vikings, 10 Vikings right now, so this will be a tough one, but Flash actually going around in 2 pieces.
That's never good, but there weren't... Oh, there's a time warp that kind of comes it up, but it doesn't matter. The force is now together, and I think, obviously, that third base is going to go down. He wants to try and inflict maximum casualties, pull him back through. That's a lot of Guardian Shields that were deployed there. Crazy number, actually. The DTs did go into the natural. The fight is going to happen. That is overstimming, I think, maybe from Flash. That could be risky, but there are only 2 Colossus remaining. herO's army is melting away here. Maybe his decision to try and hold the third was not the right thing to do, but the amount of economic damage that herO has done with his DTs is significant. He's killed 21 workers, pretty much gutted the natural and the third base.
Well, that's actually a big deal. Flash can't really go home and mine too easily, but then again, herO's still on only 2 bases. Flash looks like he may not end up breaking him here. Look at this. herO's picking off a lot of units.
Lovely blink there, right on top of the SCVs. No, it's like, hey, I've done economic damage. Let's put another nail in that coffin. It's now 27 SCVs to 46. The third is always a lie when it comes to the Protoss, man. It's been said time and again. It's a lie. Don't fall for it. Don't fight around it. It's not used for mining. It's used to bait the Terran player into a horrible situation. And strangely enough, herO has managed to make that happen. He now has a huge supply lead. The DT backstab was massive. This is some very, very weak bio from Flash.
Really weak. He does not have enough medevacs to heal this quickly enough. And it looks like herO's going to poke in with these Stalkers, see what he can get done, see the state of Flash's base. You know, it's a good thing not all those SCVs died with his attack because of the DTs. He still has some economy, but overall, herO doing better right now.
It's pretty rough. herO does want to watch out, though. The Zealots do get in there. The blink back and the Colossus coming in from the back here. But nice stutter step here from Flash. He gets into a really nice position to force this back. And I don't know if herO had to engage this. And Flash is looking to try and come back into this. He's pushing aggressively down his ramp.
Oh, but still too much damage. And GG. The series gets tied up 2-2.